Big Brother legends are out of the house and on the road. The stakes are high, the twists are wild, so let's chase down the drama of The Amazing Race Season 38 with Kinda Unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Amazing Race video, and we are on Season 38, Episode 1. So first, I just want to apologize for my voice. I am currently sick, so please just bear with me. So this season of The Amazing Race features an entire cast full of former Big Brother players, including 3 winners and a loved one. And right off the bat, we see some interesting relationships outside of some of them playing together on the same season and all being in the same reality show universe. So Taylor and Joseph are both on this season and they used to date. Now Taylor is dating Kylan, and that's who she's playing with this year. Well, Kylan used to live with Hannah for 2 years, and Hannah and her sister are also in The Amazing Race this year. And it doesn't end there. Tucker and Rabina are dating long distance, but they're playing against each other in the game. And then Izzy and Jag are still enemies. So with all of that out of the way, the episode began with an Express Pass challenge. So they're in the Netherlands, and in order to win this Express Pass, they have to be the first team to bowl a strike, basically. Except they're not using a bowling ball, they're using their partner. So they literally lay down on these like snowboards and they have to be pushed into the pins. And this is a lot harder than it sounds. You have to build up enough momentum to get enough force to actually knock down all the pins. But you also have to make sure that your person is going directly into the pins and not off to the side. So the first person to do this obviously wins the Express Pass, and the last team to do this gets a penalty in this leg of the race. So right off the bat, 2 teams are falling behind. Jag and Jazz and Angela and Lexi, because they completely miss the clue box and have to go back and get the clue before coming back to the challenge. So these teams are really struggling to get the hang of this challenge. But Taylor and Kylan are the first team to knock down all of their pins and they get the Express Pass. So eventually we get down to 3 teams: Jag and Jazz, Izzy and Paige, and Enzo and Jack. But eventually Jag and Jazz and Izzy and Paige knock down all their pins and they head to the next stop, which made Jack and Enzo the last team to actually knock down all of their pins. So now that all the teams have finished at the rink, they are now at the starting point with the host Phil, and they do some introductions. Phil tells them that since Taylor and Kylan won the Express Pass, they get to pick another team to give a second Express Pass to. Taylor and Kylan end up choosing Jag and Jazz to give this second Express Pass to. So Kylan said as much as he wanted to help Hannah and as much as Taylor wanted to help Joseph, they felt like those two would probably help them anyway without needing an incentive. And they know Jag is a competitor, so it's good to have somebody like that on their side. So the teams drive themselves to the port of Volendam, where they then have to get on tandem bikes and drive to Edam Cheese Market. However, remember, Jack and Enzo have a hazard. So their hazard is that they each have to eat a herring, and then instead of a tandem bike, they get this ridiculous clog bike that they have to drive to the cheese market. So once the teams get to the cheese market, they have to stack 30 pieces of cheese and deliver them Dutch style, which means that these men on boats toss the players their cheeses and then they have to stack them up in a pyramid and carry them over to the person that checks it and gives them their clue for the next point. So Jag and Jack take over first place, and Enzo and Jack reach their hazard point, so they eat the herrings with no problem. Actually, I thought they'd have a little bit more trouble, but they ate them right down, and then they get on their bike and they start making their way to the cheese market. So Jazz and Jag are in first place right now, and they make it to the first roadblock, and in this roadblock they have to gather 9 types of flowers and arrange them in this box in a specific way, and then it has to be checked by somebody before they can head to the next point. So then we check back in with Enzo and Jack, and they are lost. They're like in some residential area. They're nowhere near the cheese market. And at this point, most of the teams are stacking their cheese. Kat and Alex get to their tandem bikes, and then Kat realizes that she's wearing her bandana from the first challenge, and they have to take it back. So she starts breaking down crying on their way back. and Alex is trying to calm her down. So we check back in with Jag and Jazz at the roadblock, and Jag brings back his arrangement and it's incorrect. So he tries again. On his second try, he gets it correct. So now they are headed to the first pit stop, and they find out that the last team to reach the pit stop will be eliminated. So Tucker and Eric finish up at the roadblock, and they are in second place now, and they're headed for the pit stop. So Izzy and Paige and Rubina and Christine are all at the roadblock, and Christine is happy because she's a florist, so this competition is right up her alley. But all of a sudden, the shades close on the greenhouse and they're in the dark. So they have to get headlamps so that they can see the flowers. So that just makes this competition that much harder. So as they're getting their headlights and starting to get started, other teams are starting to show up. Then we see Jag and Jazz reach the pit stop. They are in first place, and then Tucker and Eric are right behind them in second place. Because Jag and Jazz reached the pit stop first, they each won $2,500. Then we see Izzy and Paige reach the pit stop, followed by Rubina and Christine, and they are the third and fourth teams respectfully. Kat and Alex have returned the bandana, and they have now reached the roadblock. Just as Natalie and Stephanie arrive at the pit stop, making them team 5, followed behind Jack and Chelsea. So back at the roadblock, Kat and Matt are really struggling trying to find the correct flowers to put in their arrangement. So just as Angela and Lexi are leaving the roadblock after successfully arranging their flowers, Enzo and Jack finally show up at the roadblock. And Kat is getting more and more frustrated because she can't find the correct flowers for their arrangement, and she starts to cry. And Enzo sees this as an opportunity. He says, all right, she's upset, then we still have a chance. Maybe we can beat them. So back at the pit stop, Hannah and Simone are the 7th team to check in, followed by Joseph and Adam. And then Taylor and Kylan are team 9. And then finally, Angela and Lexi are team 10. So back at the roadblock, the last 3 teams are still there. But Alex and Kat finally arranged their flowers in the correct configuration, and they head for the pit stop. So we are down to Megan and Matt and Enzo and Jack. But Megan and Matt complete the roadblock before Enzo and Jack, and they head to the pit stop, making them the 12th team to reach the pit stop, which means that Jack and Enzo were the 13th team, and they were eliminated from the competition. And that was pretty much it for this episode. Let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more The Amazing Race content, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please hit the like.